Supreme thought, supreme being, supreme light. I manifest the knowledge for wisdom to shine bright. How you think you see the moon unless in the sun bright? Women claim independence, you can never dim the light. Today's math is understanding, I'm about to get them right. The contrast to its astral take fight. The only thing you're really missing is understanding the fight. Supreme, supreme. Starring each sage and weed, I'm about to take speed and enter me, mastering 55 degrees to deity, higher and fire and cold water, into samadhi. You could never know my body. Bars. Naga.
Didn't think I was gonna do it again, but here it go. Returning them bomb bars into the supreme flow. Respect, I only move for divineness. My center point of circle can follow the line in. I manifest supreme being, embodiment, connected to the stars. Light points be my history. Manifest and bringing back everything that's meant for me. My infantry. You don't really know who on my spirit team. I keep it me. Move through the air like the smoking head. Pick it out, let it go. Black fist in the afro. I'm on a horse, Geronimo, shooting a bunch of arrows on top of every pyramid. Rapping just like the pharaohs. I'm repping everything new, I stand in Heru. I'm repping everything new, I stand in Heru. I freed the ibis, so got the bird's eye view. Yo, I freed the ibis and got the bird's eye view. Respect. Naga.
Bars heavy, bench press, you'll get your size up. Yeah, they always want to know really what's up inside us, we riders. Don't get it twisted, I'll break in sizes, you modest. I'ma stay king born son, I promise. Try to cross that, you need to know where the line is. I was raised with gorillas, pit bulls, and piranhas. Solar ecliptic, see the reflection through the lumen. And I can see the gold from the sun come up through the turmeric. The star need bay leaf and time, cooking food again, a hooligan. Knowledge born supreme cipher, the gods two of them. Divine balance in one motion, become two of them. Student and the teacher bring the knowledge to both you and them. Student and the teacher bring the knowledge to both you and them. Bars.
I was here, I was there, I was all over the map. From the back, it's a rap, they ain't catch me in a trap. Why you thinking you hard, boy? I'm repping these bars up. Spit like a sawed off, I'm sicker than nausea. Running rap like a Rajan, you need to take caution. Taking my portion, repping divine one. Shine brighter than 12 suns, you hoping the hell come. Keep thinking how you thinking, I'm cooking the well done. You can claim they're your peoples, but watch them go tell something. Everybody swear they real, but everybody be frontin'. I'm cool, I'm laid back, I'm rolling the blunt. But I don't care what they say, I just do what I want. I ain't talking to you, so just mind your business. Knowledge is born and I birthed the wisdom supreme.
Question. Would you die for me?
Yes.
That's too easy. Would you live for me?
Yes.
Careful. Do not say this oath thoughtlessly. Desire becomes surrender, surrender becomes power.
This is a piece that I put together. Short, but interesting. I hope you enjoy it. Naga.
Always around, like it's trying to lead me somewhere. I feel so familiar with it, like I know this somehow. I'm not crazy, you just don't understand me, or yourself for that matter. And what do you think you know about who we are?
Nah, you're not crazy. We're something different, King. But it's still foggy. Let me walk with you.
Oh, so you want to build? You already know the vibes.
Well, what I've read so far is that our culture has been around for billions, maybe more. We carry a genetic link to the divine creators that established civilization.
Oh snap, that's what's up. My grandma used to say I had an old soul. Wait, something's not right. I think it's happening again. I gotta get out of here.
As he runs down the stairs and into the streets, the spirit of the Black Nagas has awakened in him.
Always doing that. The mute button. Unity in the black community. I was just on Angry Man live stream, and that was his title, and he had made a comment. He said before he was dealing with his children, he said he don't think it can happen because well he don't believe that we're still tribe energy because everybody has their own perspectives, and that stops a lot of things from coming together, right? So that is a reality. That's a big reality. And it becomes like a whole character, right? Towards the value of certain people. But my thoughts on black unity ultimately, our people are dispersed on two different sides. We have creators and we have people who don't create. They're good followers. But then you have something that opposes these conjunctions moreover than allowing them to fit together. If you had a watch, the watch has screws, right? It has bolts, it has wheels, it has springs. All these different components are completely different by themselves, and they're weaker or stronger by themselves, depending on the value. Ultimately, they really serve no purpose by themselves. Only when you start to put them together is when something happens. They have a little value. This is why they're cut in certain in particular ways. So their process of coming into existence was specific for them, right? So the way they may view their past is specific for that. Like, just imagine if a wheel was being carved out and it was small and it went from being a certain type of metal to being shaped and formed and then cut and then fit for something else, like that life that it had particularly for that individual screw or bolt or wheel or whatever. His story from where it came from is not going to be the same as a spring, and it's not going to be the same as the bolt, and it's not going to be the same as any of the other pieces unless the piece is similar. You see what I'm saying? So these particular values exist within our culture, and it's not hard to retrospect that as an understanding to allow that just to be. How can I not be happy for the way you think individually? I need you at your height of who you are. If I like for me to control that, it speaks to the value lesser of what I am. Like, I don't have value if I have to control it. If all I can see is what you do and try to figure out ways on how to stop that, that speaks to lack thereof of what I'm capable of. Why would your reward be stopping or interfering with the growth of something similar to you? That's where the issue comes in at. What's wrong with your mind? There's something wrong with your mind. When you look at your people and you see them striving, whether it's in conjunction of what you believe to be right or wrong, your first mentality would be to criticize. What is wrong with your mind? That's deep. That's deep. But we propagate the value of love. We speak as if love is a thing that we carry when using or speaking to the value of these retrospects. Universal connection, divine flow. You have to be within that and oneness of that connection. That is everything. The one love is the all love. It is all of us, but we're separate. You understanding that you're connected to a force. And individually, you can be great in your own component. Giving respect to that is all you have to do. No more, no less. I don't have to feel anything indifferent to the value of what you're doing. I can say, wow, that's great. I can give that emotion. I can say, I don't know what that is, but it seems like you're happy for it. And if you're happy, I'm happy for you. Why would your mind slip into, you think you're doing something? But I don't move like that, so I can't rock with that. Like, where's that hate? What is that hate? What is that? Share this live stream. All information down in the description. You want to support the channel. Share the live. Share the live. You know what I mean? But why people do that? What's wrong with you? You need a hug. You need a hug. That's what it is. You mad because you need a hug. Some people go through different turmoils to put them in different negative values. We have to understand that the negative energy is cool. It grounds the value of the electrical current. What is grounding? Stabilizing. Sometimes you may float a little too far up into the value of what you believe it is. This is where ego comes into play. So it's okay sometimes to have that indifferent. You don't have to like it, but respect is another value. And respect does not come with negative or positive. It's just you saying, you know what? If that works for you, then whatever. I'm cool. You don't have to express no negative energy behind that. Expressing negative energy feeds different entities. You know what I'm saying? Allowing these different cells of energy to pose their cells when feeling certain things within your flesh, it feeds certain cells. And we have to be mindful of how we give off these certain in particular energies. Like children, they need to feel accepted. They need to feel like they can conquer the world. They need to feel love until they become old enough to go search for that or let it come to them, either or. But they need to feel complete in their mindset until that process. You need to make them feel like whatever they think they can accomplish. With that consistency, that integrity built through those processes should transmute over to how we treat people. Because ultimately, you may see people in a lesser or weaker value to understand it, and the only thing they may need at that particular moment is just love. And what does that look like for you? Is it too heavy to pick up and carry? I mean, Atlas picked the planet up. You know what I mean? Like, what is, and understanding that understanding lifting the planet up in a mentality of literally, like not verbal. I didn't mean to say literally, like verbally. You know what I'm saying? Putting it in structure of conceptual action. You know what I'm saying? Like some people take on a lot. Some people are so endowed into materialistic value in the world. You know what I'm saying? That to maintain that value, you have to lift up a lot of concepts that come with that. But there is an integrity base that's based on the reality of how we move through certain circumstances. You're balancing out these things. There is no contingency. You can feel the negative, you can feel happy, but expressing that on somebody in different situations causes different things. This is a chemistry set we work in. How well can you feel negative and positive and don't allow it to be the source energy of your circumstance, of your living, of everything that you are? Like, wow, they're too happy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they think it's all about their stuff. Oh, wow, they always bringing they so always negative. It's a balance. And some people go too far to the left and too far to the right. But this is what the images are here for. Some people who went too far for the left or the right felt comfortable in the middle and didn't, and was hoping that they wouldn't go left and right no more when they got there, maybe in the younger part of their life. Felt good in the middle, like, yo, I'm balancing this. This is what it is. And then you got nervous because you're like, wait a minute, this is too nice. I got good and bad on both sides, and everything's still all right. Don't shy the world down to things you think is not impossible. I mean, don't shy the world down to what you think is impossible. Possibilities are endless, and they will always take place with the level of trying the next new. We all know the things that we're used to doing. Some people want to be in the old shoes that we lived and walked. I know I get tired of certain things over and over and over in certain conversations, certain characteristics, certain ways of living, certain existences. They just don't mesh with me, period. Certain things I will keep with myself. because the way of certain things symbolize who I am at my essence. So I will hold on to certain things. Certain things I will put down. But it's my choice to build myself how I see fit. So as it is for you and you and you and you and you and you. When I meet you, I get to see what you built with yourself and respect that value because of what it's going to offer or what you have mastered in your own studies of life. Our unity shies away from the reality of allowing one to be. How can you want to be but don't want no one to be? What kind of world would that be? How would you be able to even flex an ego? Why would ego be more important once you come from the start? Just think about not having nothing, no one, no connection to anything, and just there. And then you said, can I just be with somebody like me? And then you create versions of yourself. What happens? That experience is fleeting. The ideal for having connection is fleeting because you get a chance to experience what that is. We've experienced that. What haven't we experienced? We haven't experienced a failure all the way to the bottom, risen all the way within the flesh divinely, collectively together as one culture, changing the dynamics of everything, of reality, from spiritual to flesh. We haven't done that. This is why it's happening. It's the contrast of everything else. You know, before you had deifying people, giants. How would that look on this level? And the concept of the mentality. Ultimately, the demise will happen by one's own recognizance. How you think perplexing to your particular energy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the chat going off. I don't have it. Oh, peace. You already? How you doing, bro? But how would that look like to you individually? You know what I'm saying? Like we're running from the value of just allowing everyone to be the greatest version of themselves. Like this is what the narcissists value. This is what the hate and all this other stuff. How can I hold those contingencies to a person I know has to come through that eggshell and be the version that's going to make them that connection of what they are? So it kind of starts depleting me of even feeling these contingencies towards any level of hate. I understand, and it's another side of the coin. That coin exists. Just like I may be the head, the tail exists. How can I throw the baby out with the bathwater? We don't think correctly enough to have a real understanding on what we're talking about to one another as a culture. This is why the mentality is infantized when it comes to the structure of what we're doing. And it's always a clash. But then mostly everybody feels good by seeing some form of disillusion. Like, wow, they went at it. Wow, they said this, they said that. More perplexing to you to watch that grow in its greatest version, become an image. So then now you can grow in your greatest version. How would that connection be to divine beings at their height? See, it's unbeknownst to us. It never happened. People are afraid of that. DNA is afraid of it. Certain cells that don't belong in certain original pretenses are afraid of that. You got to keep in mind, knowledge goes all the way down to the bottom. I mean, like to the moleculic value that you can't see is, it's like, this is why I said in the bill yesterday, it's like a Farushka dog. The knowledge of conception of reality is in my cells. I am me all the way down to the smallest molecule of myself. So then if I'm created through the divine concept of flow, that means I'm a divine being, even if I'm down to the molecules. This little body on this little planet way off in the universe, we still divine beings. We are part of the divine energy that created it all. How do I separate that if I'm growing in that right? How do I point out other particular values that are like me and say, you ain't this? No, you growing because you're here. But there are other concepts of reality that we deal with on an everyday basis. If I leave food out too long, it's going to mold. That's an unwanted energy on a process. That I can concept. If I intake more living processes, I increase a living process. That I can concept. Discipline for natural processes. That I can concept. To go against one that is naturally like me in a growth process because of particularly how I felt outside of my own conscious thinking, then judging individuals for that complex of thinking, I cannot concept. I can see the manipulation aspect to lay that on an individual. Even see a group of people going through that at a certain time point. But where within that fraction do you look and say, yo, I don't want to lose what's mine because you said so? And then they even get more deeper in the manipulation. It's like, nah, F you, and this your own. And it's like, how do I even love you with you being so indoctrinated? I got to love you back here? No, that means you got to be the best version of the DNA that you are. You a seed, grow a jungle, my G. Grow a jungle, my queen. You one seed that can do that. We never lose. Every piece of DNA is inside of us. Once I can align this, what I have up, this synapses, this connection with the universe and grounding into the earth and balance out my understanding and get to a place that serves my electrical value, everything that spawns off of me at that point is versions of the DNA that I was created from. But under me, they will be taught that knowledge and spirituality. I just recreated my whole family. Just recreated the whole lineage. There's no falsity. There's no faulty. When you follow, you lose the essence of you. Don't lose you. Allow these things to be in their greatest aspect. That's what we lacking in unity. Reveling in the fact that the brother concept next to me is striving to be something unknown. I want to see. I want to watch the movie play out. You dig what I'm saying? I want to watch the movie play out. And each individual who can rise at they right. You should never have, that should never be a conversation like, I don't like what you're doing. I don't believe. Now let me see what you do because you are doing it. That's an experience for me. How can I hate on that? I get to learn from it. I get to learn from it. So that starts to speak to certain values. You know what I'm saying? That starts to speak to certain values like how and what does it look like for you and what does it mean for you to really be connected to one? Are you really connected to something? Like you really connected to this value? Really feel like I want to be a part of things? Well, you got to be willing to deal with both sides of the fence. Divine, when he created the black woman, it was both yin and yang. It was the unknown and the known. That's how you break through something. You don't know where you go when you break. If you punch through a door, you don't know what the other side is. You're just going through it. Boom. There could be a wall over there. Break your hand. I'm just saying. Concepts of reality, they twist. So when it's coming through, it's known and unknown. That's got to be the acceptance. So when you go into the unknown, now it's known. Never be afraid of it. Get familiar with it. Get familiar with it. Accept it. Understand it. But you ain't got to be a part of it. See what I'm saying? That means you have to be a part of it. Not a part of it like attaching. We're not talking about Lego blocks. Don't be a part of it. Don't attach yourself to it. But be a part of it enough to understand it. Don't disrespect it. Respect it enough to understand it. All these other contingencies against the value of how you should stand only separates you from your own experience. Live and live for you and yours and your people, and let experience happen. Even failure sometimes. Because you know why? Some people got to fail into success. Some people have to fall into success sometimes. This is just reality. Who are you to conduct or try to move any of those situations out of the way? I ain't gonna hold you. Love. Naga.